Hello, exceptional students of Mrs. Whitney's. Okay, so the percent proportion, it sounds a whole lot more complicated than it really is. So the percent proportion really is a proportion, which we know from the previous unit means that two ratios are equal to each other. And on one side, we have the percent over 100. On the other side, we have the part divided by the whole. And there's kind of a trick to being able to figure out what the part and what the whole are. So there's a little trick you can use to figure out what the part and the whole is. And the part is usually, not always, but is usually the number located next to is, and the part is usually, not always, the number located next to the of. So again, we're going to use this, finding the percent, by using the percent proportion. So we are looking for what the percent is. That is our unknown. So that is this. And then on this side, we have what percent of 15 is 12. So of 15 is the whole, and that goes in the denominator over there. So 15 goes here. Is 12, that is the part, that goes here. And remember, the percent is always over 100. So this is always 100, the percent over 100. So the right side will always look like some percent over 100. And I'm going to use a variable here. We will use a p, and now we're going to cross multiply to figure out what our percent is. So 15 times p is 15p. 12 times 100 is 1,200. In order to get p by itself, we're going to divide both sides by 15. So 1,200 divided by 15, I'm going to pull out my trusty dusty calculator for that one. And 1,200 divided by 15 is 80. So the percent is equal to 80. So it is 80%. That is the percent. So finding the part. Again, you start with the percent proportion, which is the part divided by the whole, is equal to the percent over 100. And now we can start identifying things. So we know that the percent is always the percent. It has the percent sign next to it. So it's not a big mystery as to what the percent is. So 36 goes on the right-hand side of our proportion. 100 always goes there. Of 50. Well, if it's of 50, that is our whole, because we're trying to find out what number is 36% of 50. So the 50 is our whole, it goes there. We don't know what our part is, and for reasons that are weird, you represent the part by an A, because that's the percent. So we're going to cross multiply. We're going to say 100A is equal to whatever 50 times 36 is. Remember, your reward for surviving Unit 2 is now you can use a calculator. So 36 times 50 is 1,800. Divide both sides by 100, and you end up with the part is equal to 8t. And that makes sense, because 36% is less than 100%, and A, therefore, would be less than 50, because it's the part. Okay, finding the whole. What percent, so 150% of what number is 24? So this is going to kind of go on 2 pages. If you guys can fit it on one, that's great, but I'm not going to be able to fit that. So we know that the part divided by the whole is equal to the percent over 100. So 100% is the percent. It's the percent. I don't care if it's next to of. I don't care if it's next to is. If it has a percent sign on it, it goes where the percent is. So we know that 150 over 100 is our percent part over percent portion. And then our part is 24, so that is our part. So that goes here. And then our whole, notice, of what number? Well, we don't know what it is, so that is our variable, and that will be W. Cross multiply, get 150 W is equal to 2,400. I'm going to divide both sides by 150. And again, getting out my trusty dusty calculator. 2,400 divided by 150 gives me 16. So our whole is equal to 16. Now it might seem weird that our part is larger than my whole, but actually it's okay because our percentage is over 100. So that makes sense that our part would be larger than our whole. So real life applications. So the bar graph shows the strength of tornadoes that occurred in Alabama in 2011. What percent of the tornadoes were EFs? So we're going to do the percent proportion, percent over 100, the part, and the whole. Well, our part is the number of EF1s that occurred. So this is our part. And we know that there were 58 tornadoes that were EF1s. Our whole is all of those tornadoes added together. So that would be 36 plus 58 plus 29 plus 13 plus 7 plus 2. Let's see if we can clean this up a little bit. So we have 36. This would be 20 and that would be 22. So it's fewer numbers I have to enter on my calculator. So we have 36 plus 58 plus 29 plus 22 gives me 145. So there was a total of 145 tornadoes and 58 of them were EF1s. We don't know what the percent is, so that's P. 100 is O is 100. I'm going to cross multiply. I get 5,800 is equal to 145 times P. I'm going to divide both sides by 145. So 5,800 divided by 145 gives me 40. So P is equal to 40. So 40% of the tornadoes were EF1s. Okay, nice job. You can try your practice.